Hey, English learners, welcome back to Slowburn English, the podcast where we talk about real life, real feelings, and real English. I'm Liam.
And I'm Emma. And today, we want to ask you something.
Have you ever been asked, "How are you?" and you said, "I'm fine," but you meant absolutely none of it?
Maybe you were exhausted. Maybe you were anxious. Maybe something heavy was sitting on your chest and you just didn't have the words.
So you said, "I'm fine," because it was easy, because it was safe.
Today, we're going to change that. Slowly, gently, the slow burn way.
This episode is called Don't Just Say, "I'm Fine." Talk about how you really feel. Let's begin.
But before we get into today's topic, we want to stop for a moment.
Yes, we want to say thank you.
A real thank you, not a I'm fine thank you kind of thank you.
A genuine one, because you, yes, you, the person listening right now, you keep showing up every episode, and that means everything to us.
We see your likes, we read your comments, and honestly, some of your messages have made us stop mid-morning coffee and just feel something.
Like this comment from a listener named Thang. She wrote, "I never thought I could describe how I feel in English, but after listening to your episodes, I tried, and my colleague actually understood me."
Thang, that made our day, genuinely.
And then there's Marco from Italy who said, "I used to skip the word tour. Now it's my favorite part."
Marco, same. And we don't even have to study it.
We probably should though.
Probably.
But seriously, we know learning a language is hard. It's not just about grammar and vocabulary, it's about courage.
Yes, it takes courage to open your mouth in a language that isn't yours, to say something imperfect, to be misunderstood and try again.
And you do that every single day. That's not small, that's enormous.
And we also want to say, if you're new here, welcome. Slowburn English is a place where we go slow on purpose.
We believe that language grows on you like a good habit, like a warm friendship. You don't notice it happening, and then one day you do.
And if you've been here for a while, thank you for saying. Thank you for trusting us with your mornings, your commutes, your quiet evenings.
We don't take that lightly.
And one more thing. Someone in the comments last week asked, is it okay if my English is still messy?
Oh, yes, 1,000 times yes.
Your English is under construction, and under construction is not broken. Under construction means something is being built.
Something real, something yours.
So, thank you from both of us. Now, let's talk about feelings.
Oh, we got emotional again, Emma. People are going to say this thank you section is longer than their weekly therapy session.
Maybe it is. Maybe that's okay too.
Okay, so I'm fine.
I'm fine.
2 words, so powerful, so empty.
Can I tell you a story?
Please.
My first week working with an English-speaking team, I was nervous, obviously. And every morning, my colleague James would walk in, put down his coffee, and say, "Morning, Emma. How are you?"
And you said,
"I'm fine, thank you." Every single day.
for how long?
3 months. 3 months of "I'm fine, thank you." And James was so kind. He never pushed. But one day he said, "Emma, you know you can just say, 'hanging in there' if it's a rough morning, right?"
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I remember thinking, hanging in there? What does that mean? Am I hanging from something? Is this dangerous?
Your brain just completely froze.
Completely. It was like my brain went on mute. I had feelings, plenty of them, but the moment someone asked in English, the words just disappeared.
I think so many learners know that feeling. You understand everything, you feel everything, but the connection between the feeling and the English word is just not there yet.
And that's exactly what today is about, building that connection, gently, one word at a time, the slow burn way.
So why does "I'm fine" become the default?
I think there are a few reasons, and they're all very human.
The first one, we don't want to burden people, especially in English where we're not fully confident yet. It feels safer to say something short and move on.
Right, because what if you say something more honest and then you can't explain it? What if they ask a follow-up question and you freeze?
Exactly. So "I'm fine" becomes a kind of shield.
The second reason, and this one is interesting, sometimes we genuinely don't know what we feel. And if you don't know in your first language, finding the word in English feels impossible.
That's true. I've had moments where I felt something and I couldn't name it in my own language.
So the language isn't the problem, the awareness is.
Which brings us to something we want to ask you. And you can think about this as you listen.
Is there a difference between not having the words and not feeling safe enough to use them?
Because sometimes we say, I don't know how to express this in English, but actually we do know. We're just not sure the other person can hold it.
And that is a very human thing in any language.
Think about that. We'll come back to it. Now, a quick moment before we go deeper.
If this episode is already feeling useful, please give it a like. It helps more people find Slowburn English, and it tells us you want more of this kind of content.
And subscribe if you haven't yet. We come out with new episodes every week. Slow, warm, and always about something real.
Leave us a comment, too. Tell us, what's a feeling you've never been able to describe in English? We read every single one.
Now, today's episode is B2 level, upper intermediate. The vocabulary and conversations are a little more nuanced than B1, but we always explain every word inside the dialogue, so don't worry.
And by the end of today, you'll have 10 new B2 words about emotions and inner states. And you'll know exactly how to use them, not just in a textbook, but in a real conversation.
Okay, let's go in. So, let's start with the big question. Why are we so stuck on I'm fine?
Stuck. Good word. Stuck means you can't move forward, like your foot's in the mud. And the more you pull, the more it holds you.
And emotionally, a lot of English learners feel stuck at this one phrase, I'm fine. It works. It's polite. Nobody questions it.
But here's the thing. English actually has an enormous vocabulary for emotions. We're talking hundreds of words and phrases, from very light feelings to very deep ones.
And most learners never get to explore them because nobody teaches you the middle ground. You learn happy and sad, you learn good and bad, but the real conversations, the ones that actually connect people, they happen in the middle.
The gray area, the I'm not great, but I'm not falling apart zone.
Exactly. And here's a metaphor I love for this. Imagine a cup of water sitting on a table. The table's shaking just a little, not dramatically, but enough.
And you're trying to keep the water from spilling.
That's what it feels like to hold in a feeling you can't express. You're managing, you're keeping it together, but there's this constant, quiet tension.
And if someone asks, how are you? And all you can say is, I'm fine, it's like pretending the table isn't shaking.
And the thing is, the other person can often see the table shaking. They just don't know how to ask, and you don't know how to say.
So the connection never happens.
But it could, with just a few more words.
Can I share something personal?
Please.
About 2 years ago, I was going through a really heavy period at work. A lot of pressure, a lot of late nights, and every morning my manager would ask, "How's it going, Liam?" And you would say, "Yeah, good, thanks."
Every morning.
Every morning. Until one day, I don't know why, I said, "Honestly, I'm a little overwhelmed."
And what happened?
He put down his coffee, he looked at me, and he said, "Tell me more."
Oh.
Just that. Tell me more. And that conversation, that honest, slightly uncomfortable 2-minute conversation, changed the whole dynamic between us.
Because you used the real word.
Because I used the real word. Overwhelmed. Not fine, not good, overwhelmed.
And this is true for English learners too. When your emotional vocabulary is limited to fine and tired and happy, your whole inner world becomes invisible to the people around you.
And you deserve to be seen, even especially in a language that isn't yours.
So today we want to give you more words. Words that live between fine and falling apart. Words that are honest without being dramatic.
Because here's the truth about English and about communication in general. People don't connect through perfect sentences.
They connect through honest ones.
Say that again.
People don't connect through perfect sentences. They connect through honest ones.
That's the whole episode right there.
We could stop now.
But we won't, because we have 10 words to get through.
and so much more to say. Okay, so let's talk about the middle ground. The space between I'm fine and I'm not okay.
Because that's where most of us live, most of the time. We're not dramatically sad. We're not overflowing with joy. We're just somewhere in the middle.
And English has beautiful, natural ways to express that. You don't need to share your whole life story. You just need a few more honest words.
So, we're going to give you 3 levels today. Think of it like a volume dial.
I like that. A volume dial for feelings.
And level 1, the lightest. These are phrases you can use with almost anyone, a colleague, a classmate, someone you just met.
Things like, I'm a bit tired today, or I'm a little distracted, or, and this one I use a lot, I'm kind of overwhelmed, but I'll be okay.
Notice the end, but I'll be okay. That's important. It tells the other person, I'm being honest, but I don't need you to fix anything.
It keeps the conversation light while still being real.
Exactly. Now, level 2, a little deeper. These are for people you're a bit more comfortable with, a friend, a close colleague, someone who knows you a little.
Things like, honestly, it's been a heavy week, or I've been a lot in my head lately, or I'm not quite myself today.
Not quite myself. I love that phrase. It's so gentle. It doesn't say I'm sad or I'm anxious. It just says something is a little off, and most people understand that immediately.
Because most people have felt it too.
Right. And then level 3, the deepest. These are for people you really trust, someone close, someone safe.
Things like, I've been feeling a bit unsettled lately, or I'm carrying something heavy right now, or even, I'm managing, but just.
I'm managing, but just. Oh, that one hits.
It does. It says, I'm holding on, I'm doing what I need to do, but it's costing me something.
And sometimes that's the most honest thing you can say.
Now, here's something interesting. As English learners, you might feel like you need to jump from silence straight to something dramatic, like either I'm fine or I need to talk about everything that's wrong in my life.
The 2 extremes.
But that middle ground, those level 1 and level 2 phrases, that's where real conversation lives. And it's actually not that hard to get there.
You don't need a perfect vocabulary. You need a few honest words and the courage to say them.
And honestly, this is true for English learners in a very specific way. When you're learning a language, you spend so much energy on being correct grammar, correct pronunciation, that being honest sometimes feels like a luxury.
Like, first, let me get this sentence right. Then maybe I'll say something real.
But it doesn't have to work that way.
No, you can say, I don't know the exact word, but I'm feeling something like heavy. Is that right? And 9 times out of 10, the person will understand, and they'll help you find the word.
Because honesty invites help, and perfection often closes the door,
So let people in, even if the words aren't perfect yet.
even if the sentence is a little messy.
Your English is under construction, and under construction means something real is being built.
Something that sounds more like you every day.
Okay, now we want to do something a little different, something we call a conceptual distinction.
We're going to look at 4 phrases that look very similar, that learners often use interchangeably, but they actually mean very different things.
Ready?
Ready.
Phrase 1, I'm fine.
I'm fine. This one is what we call a deflection. It doesn't really answer the question. It redirects it. It says, I heard your question. I'm choosing not to go there.
Sometimes it's polite, sometimes it's protective, sometimes it's just a habit, but it doesn't open a door.
It closes one.
Phrase 2, I'm okay.
I'm okay is more neutral. It says, I'm not great, I'm not bad, I'm somewhere in the middle. And crucially, it leaves a tiny door open.
If someone says, I'm okay, and there's a slight pause after it, that pause is an invitation. It's saying, you can ask more if you want to.
It's softer than I'm fine, more honest.
And phrase 3, I'm good.
I'm good is genuine positivity. It means actually, yes, things are well. I mean this. It's warm and real.
The difference between I'm fine and I'm good is intention. Fine deflects, good confirms.
And you can hear it in someone's voice too. I'm fine. Flat tone. Versus I'm good. Warm tone.
Yes, the tone carries everything.
And then phrase 4, our bonus word for today. I'm managing.
Oh, this one. This is a B2 gem.
I'm managing means I'm doing what needs to be done. I'm keeping things together, but it's not easy. There's a quiet strength in it and a quiet honesty.
It's the kind of thing you say when someone really asks and you want to be real with them without going into too much detail.
Like, hey, have you been? And you say, I'm managing. And they understand immediately.
Because most people have been there in that managing space.
Let's try a small demonstration. Same situation. Your friend asks how you are after a difficult week. 4 different answers.
I'm fine, door closed.
I'm okay. Door slightly open.
I'm good, door open warmly, genuinely.
I'm managing. Door open honestly, with weight.
The word you choose tells the other person how close they're allowed to come.
That's beautiful and a little bit profound.
We have our moments.
Okay, theory is wonderful, but let's get practical. Because knowing something and being able to say it in the moment, those are 2 very different things.
So we're going to walk you through 5 real situations, and for each one, we'll give you a few options, from lighter to more honest.
Situation 1. Your colleague sees you in the morning and says, "Morning, how are you?"
Options. I'm a bit slow this morning, but I'll get there. Or, honestly, it's been a rough start, but coffee helps.
Coffee always helps.
Situation 2. A friend texts you, "Hey, you okay? You've been quiet."
Options. Yeah, just a bit in my head lately. Nothing serious. Or, honestly, it's been a heavy few days. Can we talk soon?
Notice, can we talk soon? That's an invitation. You're not unloading everything in a text. You're opening a door.
Situation 3. You meet someone new at a social event and they ask, "So, have you been?"
Options. Pretty good, keeping busy. Or, it's been an interesting few weeks. A lot going on. You don't have to share details, but you don't have to pretend either.
Situation 4. Your manager asks, "How are things going for you?"
This one requires a little more care. Options. I'm managing. It's a busy period, but I'm on top of it. Or, honestly, I'm finding the workload a bit overwhelming right now. Could we talk about priorities?
That second one is brave, but it's also professional and clear.
And situation 5, the most important one. Someone who loves you asks, "Hey, how are you really?"
That really changes everything.
It does. And here you have permission to be fully honest. Options. I've been feeling a bit unsettled lately. I'm not sure why. Or, I'm carrying something heavy right now. I don't have all the words for it yet, but thank you for asking.
I don't have all the words for it yet. That is one of the most honest and human things you can say.
And this is true for English learners especially. You don't have to have all the words. You just have to have enough. Enough to let someone in. Enough to not be alone in it.
There's a phrase I think about sometimes. Future you is tired. Future you is tired of always saying, "I'm fine." Future you is tired of being invisible. Give future you a gift. Start practicing the honest words now, even imperfectly, even quietly.
Because the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And one day, someone will ask, "How are you?" And you will answer with something real, without thinking, without translating.
And that is fluency, not just in English, in yourself.
And now, our favorite part of the episode.
The word tour.
Today's word tour is all about feelings, inner states, and emotional honesty. Because this episode was all about that, having the words for how you really feel.
We have 10 words for you today, all B2 level. And for each one, we'll give you the meaning, 2 example sentences, and then repeat after us.
Ready? Let's begin.
Word number 1, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, you have too much to deal with at once, emotionally, mentally, or with work. It's like too many waves hitting you at the same time.
For example, she felt overwhelmed with everything on her to-do list.
Or he was overwhelmed with gratitude when they threw him a surprise party.
Notice, overwhelmed can be negative or positive, too much stress, or too much joy.
Repeat, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Word number 2, drained.
Drained. When you feel drained, you feel completely empty of energy, like a phone battery at 1%.
For example, after the long meeting, she felt completely drained.
Or, helping others all day left him feeling emotionally drained.
Drained is different from tired. Tired is physical. Drained goes deeper. It's emotional and mental too.
Repeat. Drained.
Drained.
Word number 3, unsettled.
Unsettled. This is one of my favorite B2 words. Unsettled means you feel a little uneasy, a little off, like something isn't quite right, but you can't fully explain it.
For example, he felt unsettled after the strange conversation.
Or, moving to a new city left her feeling unsettled for the first few weeks.
Unsettled is not panic. It's not fear. It's that quiet discomfort when something sits wrong with you.
Repeat, unsettled.
Unsettled.
Word number 4, genuine.
Genuine. Something genuine is real, honest, and sincere. Not fake, not performed.
For example, her smile was genuine. You could see it in her eyes.
Or, he gave a genuine apology and she could feel the difference.
We talked a lot today about being genuine, about giving genuine answers instead of automatic ones.
Repeat. Genuine.
Genuine.
Word number 5, suppression.
Suppression. This is a noun. To suppress something means to hold it down, to stop it from coming out. Suppression is the act of doing that.
For example, years of emotional suppression made it hard for him to open up.
Or she recognized the suppression in her own voice, the way she always said, "I'm fine."
We mentioned the architecture of suppression earlier, the way we build walls inside ourselves to hold feelings in.
Repeat, suppression.
Suppression.
Word number 6, vulnerable.
Vulnerable. When you feel vulnerable, you feel open and exposed, like you could be hurt. But vulnerability is also where real connection begins.
For example, it takes courage to be vulnerable with someone you don't know well.
Or, he felt vulnerable sharing his feelings, but he did it anyway.
In English, vulnerable is not a weakness. It's a kind of quiet bravery.
Repeat. Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Word number 7, composed.
Composed. If someone is composed, they are calm and in control, especially in a difficult moment. It's the opposite of panicking.
For example, even when things went wrong, she stayed composed.
Or, he took a deep breath and tried to sound composed during the interview.
Composed is a beautiful word. It's not the same as being cold or unfeeling. You can feel everything and still be composed.
Repeat, composed.
Composed.
Word number 8, authentic.
Authentic. Something authentic is true to itself, real, original, not pretending to be something it isn't.
For example, she gave an authentic answer, not what she thought people wanted to hear.
Or, the best conversations happen when both people are being authentic.
We talked about this all episode. The difference between automatic answers and authentic ones.
Repeat. Authentic.
Authentic.
Word number 9, managing.
Managing. We talked about this one in our conceptual distinction. To manage means to deal with a difficult situation, to keep things going, even when it's hard.
For example, how are you? I'm managing. It's a tough week, but I'm okay.
Or, she's managing on her own. It's not easy, but she's doing it.
Managing carries quiet strength. It doesn't say, I'm great. It says, I'm still here. I'm still going.
Repeat, managing.
Managing.
And our final word, word number 10, grounded.
Grounded. When you feel grounded, you feel stable, calm, and connected to yourself. Like a tree with deep roots. The wind can blow, but you don't fall.
After a long walk, she felt calm and grounded again.
Or, talking to someone I trust always helps me feel more grounded.
Grounded is the goal. After all the overwhelmed, all the drained, all the unsettled, grounded is where we want to return to.
And today, hopefully, these words help you get there a little faster.
Repeat, grounded.
Grounded.
Beautiful. 10 words. Let's say them all together one more time, quickly.
Overwhelmed. Drained. Unsettled. Genuine. Suppression. Vulnerable. Composed. Authentic. Managing. Grounded.
Write them down. Use them this week. Your English brain just went to the gym.
Before we close, we want to say one last thing.
I'm fine is not the enemy.
No, sometimes you really are fine, and that's wonderful. Say it warmly, mean it fully.
But now you have more. You have a whole new set of words for the days when fine doesn't quite cover it.
And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to use them all at once. Start small. Try one new phrase this week, just one.
Maybe with a colleague, maybe with a friend, maybe just with yourself when you're journaling or thinking or sitting quietly with a cup of tea.
And our challenge for you this week, and we mean it gently, is this. Replace one "I'm fine" with something more honest. Just once, just one time.
See how it feels. See how the other person responds. And then tell us. Leave a comment below. We want to know, what feeling have you never been able to explain in English? What word do you wish you had?
We read everything, every single comment.
So if this episode stayed with you today, we hope it also encouraged you.
In your English.
In your confidence.
And maybe even in the way you let people in, a little more honestly.
Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart.
This is Emma.
And this is Liam.
And you've been listening to Slowburn English.
Bye.
Bye.